our stats. That's it. Because the higher our stats, the higher your stats, the better you look. Probably the more bonus you get.
Seriously. And you know what they never take into consideration either is like you'll always see like one thing that they do in my place is like we have a chat going, like a group chat, like an IM or whatever,
Yeah.
so that if there's calls holding, they can be like, hey, calls holding. And do they ever check to be like, hey, look, we have three people on break right now and a couple people in train. Like, look at how like the other day I was legit the only person active in the queue taking calls, and I was seeing things like, hey, calls on hold, and what I wanted to be like was motherfucker, I'm the only agent on the line right now. I can only take one call at a time. I'm one guy. Do
Yeah.
you see that shit? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, it's to your point.
Oh, they
All
were.
they care about is the stats. Oh, our levels are going down. Our metrics are going down. And maybe you should do something about that. Maybe you, as the supervisor, should look at the situation for how it is and fix it because we're doing our best here.
Yeah.
And
And
maybe
I.
and again, not everybody is doing their best. All right, we can't assume that everybody out there is a disciplined person and that they're responsible. And because you and I, like, I know you joke a lot and you like to be self-deprecating, whatever. But
Yeah.
say what you will, motherfucker, you are a hard worker and I'm a hard worker. When we both are asked to do something, we do it and we do it the best we can. And you can joke all you want and be like, "Oh no, I'm a lazy prick and I'm stupid." No, motherfucker, you work hard. You are a smart motherfucker, and you do what you're told when you're told to do it and how you're supposed to do it. So if people can't appreciate good workers like you and I, like what the fuck? And there are people out there who aren't like us and who are okay just skating by. And I get that. But like when you recognize that you have an employee, like look at your stats, and if your stats are really good like they were, why is that person getting shit on? That person should be the one who's getting like all the help that they need. Like that, I don't know. It's backwards, man.
Yeah. Like
It's so fucking backwards.
it really is, man. Like, dude, I even found like um, one of my old fucking things here. Performance review plan. Okay, yeah. So I found like there was a scorecard for like one of the coaching sessions, and I found performance review planning thing here. And like I'll fucking just briefly go over this shit here, because fuck this. This is already making my blood boil even more. Um, so when you would have a coaching session, supervisor would just kind of look at you, go over, okay, this is where your stats are, this is where we can improve, this is what this is what you're doing really good at, keep doing it, blah 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 blah. Let's see. So I'll go through like a couple of these things, like so adherence, like the amount of time that you're on your phone and taking calls instead of like putting yourself on break, or like instead of like going to the bathroom, whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted it to be at least 85%. So this was from. Okay, so this is from March of 2018. And it has like the previous like 3 months just so they can compare it and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So my adherence: January 88%, February 87%, March 89%. Let's see. Member satisfaction overall 87% in January, 0 for February and March, because they started doing like some other like scoring, whatever have you.
Mm.
Um, they gave you like an average of like your call lengths. They wanted to be under 5 minutes. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me here.
That's so arbitrary.
Yeah,
Like what? Like because some calls could take. Well, some calls you could probably do in less time. Some calls might take about that time, but you're gonna get once in a while. You're gonna get one that's gonna take more time.
yeah. Um, let's see. So if you recommended a like they would have repair facilities where if you were a member of this club, you could get special discounts and whatnot. Um, so the more people you got there, the higher your average would go. At this time, they wanted it to be at least 6% for the month, which all right, it's low enough, but it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
So mine for January of that year was 8.8, 9 for February, and for March 12 and a half. So
Hmm.
I was fucking slaughtering that shit.
Yeah, damn,
And
dude.
then they're like, I think it was like maybe a year later, they were just like, yeah, we're gonna move it up to 8%. Like, Jesus Christ, guys. Oh yeah, then we're gonna move it up to 8.5%. It's like
That's
you.
the thing. There always has to be improvement or growth. And there's a guy who I used to work with. His name was Mike. And he used to have this thing as his desktop on his computer that I loved. It was just this thing that said, Um, growth for the sake of growth is the ideology of a cancer cell.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is that most businesses out there just want to keep growing because you have to keep growing or they view it as if you're not growing you're dying. What is that line from Tommy Boy? If you're not growing you're dying.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that, man. I don't. I mean, at
And,
what point can you not just sit back and be like, all right, we're making enough money, and maybe take some of that money and gee, I don't know, invest in your employees or maybe give it to charity or like once you hit your profit margins and you're going above that, like if you're making fuck you money, why can't you invest it back to your employees or to the community or whatever the fuck? Like,
well, because we gotta get our stock value higher. We gotta, our CEO needs a bonus because he needs a new car or he needs this. Like,
with
fuck
liberty
you.
and stock values for all.
Yep. Yep. With fucking socialism for the rich and fucking crippling capitalism for the rest.
Yes.
Fucking bullshit. Okay, so there's a performance review thing. Review effective date. Okay, so this is like a yeah, so this is like a 1 year review kind of thing. Um, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. The only like they would grade you on like needs improvement, meets expectations, or exceeds expectations. The only thing I had needs improvement on was telephone operator satisfaction. They said their target was 81% to 86% or higher. Said performance to goal was 80%. My supervisor looked at that. She's like, "Look, she's like, you're fucking killing it." She's like, we're kind of missing the stats from like the end of last month as well. So, for right now, I wouldn't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, overall member satisfaction, meets expectations. Monitoring scores exceeds expectations. They wanted 85% for a target for that. I got 91%. Scripting accuracy, 85% is what they wanted. I got 91%.
Damn.
So they put down strengths and opportunities. So strengths, they put down. Let's see. This is my supervisor. Yeah, this is my old supervisor doing this at the time. So she says, Andrew, there was an improvement with your telephone operator scores from 77% to 92%. This demonstrates that our members feel you providing them with a positive experience that exceeded their expectations. Members requesting assistance expect a prompt and courteous response, and your service on the phone provided that. You convey empathy to our members, and you have reassuring manner, especially when members are under stress. Let's see. Through your monitoring scores, you consistently collect accurate information, full triage, and verify your calls, and always provide 5 diamond cert. Yeah. Um, you have impressively maintained your adherence above goal. Then under that says opportunities. I think you would be an asset to the team and more importantly to the organization. I would like to see you self-develop by taking any applicable improvement courses. And I'm like, you know what,
Hmm.
man? Like, that's fucking why I dug that supervisor, because she's like, look, I want you to grow with this company. I want you to, I want you to be better. Like, this is where you are. This is where I want you to be, and I know you can get there.
Mm-hmm.
She was a fucking sweetheart, man. I miss.
Sounds it, man.
Yeah, I fucking miss working with. Like, I actually called her up yesterday to just be like, hey, guess what? We're not coworkers anymore.
Yeah, what did she say?
She's like, that's great. I'm like, wait, kind of not the response I was looking for. She's like, well, no. She's like, it's great in the sense of like, you know what? You're getting out of here. She's like,
Yeah.
you got to put your personal happiness above, this place. She's like, I know you've been frustrated for quite some time with this place, and just it's not worth it.
It really isn't.
I was like, you know what, man? Like this is why. Like I even told her, I said, look, anybody ever gives you shit, says you never made a difference in somebody's life, just always think back and like, you know what? Yeah, I made a difference in this fat guy's life. I made him feel better. like I, like I believed in him. He didn't disappoint me.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you do every once in a while get a really nice, supervisor. The best boss I ever had was probably at Exit 41. This guy Craig. He was awesome. He's the best supervisor I think I've ever had. And again, anytime I went, if I had a problem, which honestly I can't even recall even one time when I even had to go to him with a problem, honestly, which tells you a lot. But I'm sure that if I had a problem, I could have gone to him and it would have been dealt with. The only reason I let and he also saw a lot in me and pushed me through the ranks. Like I ended up becoming like they made a role for me called the call center application specialist, where I was making like applications for the soft for like basically working on what's called Intuit Quick Base, where you can sort of customize applications to use. And I was doing that for the call center, and it was great. Like I was really enjoying that job. The only reason I had to leave is because when they transitioned me to that new job, they took me off the phones, and I didn't really want to go back on the phones, so they could only offer me, I think it was like 20 hours or something like that. So I went from working like full time to basically working like half of that time. And I was like, listen, I can't, this isn't sustainable for me if you guys can't give me more hours with this role. So if that's the case, I don't really want to drop down to just being an agent because then I'm going to lose some pay and shit like that. So we might have to just call it here. And that's what ended up. I had to leave the job because yeah, they couldn't give me any more money. They couldn't give me any more time. So it's like, listen, I hate to do this, but that's one of the only jobs that I left because they couldn't give me enough hours, or because I wanted to be there and I couldn't. That's the only job that I've had that happen.
Yeah, and I mean that it always sucks. It was like I always maintain that she and this guy Braden from when I was working like my first radio job, they are the best supervisors I have ever had in my life. Like
Mm.
both of them. If they like said, "Hey, I have a body. I need to get it buried," I'd show up at their place with a fucking shovel. I don't know how I would get their address or whatnot, but I would show up there with a shovel and just be like, "Let's go." You know, just like walk through the house, like, "Okay, so what do you have the lime here?" What do you mean? Like, don't tell me this is your first time. Like I just assumed like you need an extra pair of hands to help you out like with this. Like you know what you were doing. Like, God damn it! If I gotta take the reins on this one, God damn it!
Thought I knew you.
God damn it! You have failed in your training with this one. But yeah, so now I no longer have to. And like I've had friends that were just like, oh my god, do you feel better? I was like, I feel like I just took the world's best dump in the world.
Seriously, I'm
Like it's
sure.
like you've ever had like that dump where you just like you just get like you leave the bathroom, you feel like you lost like 20 pounds, your legs are numb, you're just like, oh my god, man, like that is like, wow, man. um,
I
yeah,
just hope the new position doesn't. I mean, it's not. It's obviously a different field. I just hope it doesn't introduce its own set of unbearable circumstances to you for whatever reason.
I
But considering that I think you're going to be very unlikely to be abused on a regular basis. I think it'll be a lot easier to stomach.
I think so too. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, every job is gonna have that fucking downside and whatnot. Like, I'm fully fucking prepared for that mentally at least. Um, but yeah, I when abuse is consistent like that, you got to do something for your fucking employees. You
Yeah,
got to.
that's really what it comes down to. Is that really like you said or alluded to earlier, the acceptable level of abuse to an employee is none.
Is none.
It's none. I don't care what you say or what the situation is. You never deserve to be, sworn at or cussed out or insulted or whatever. Like no, 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 no.
No.
I don't care what the deal is. Like be respectful. If you want me to help you, you need to be respectful because
Yeah.
I'm just doing my job. I didn't cause your problem. You know.
Yeah. I didn't cause your problem. I'm here to help you. Like that is my job, is to try to help you to the best that I can. And if you're gonna keep screaming and cursing at me the entire fucking time, it's like I don't want to fucking help you.
Did I pee on your rug?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No. No. Woo, peed on my rug.
I'll say it again. Did I urinate on your rug?
Every time a rug is micturated upon in this city, it's my job to. Man, if only you could do that. Every time there's a car that needs to be towed, it's my job to. Well, actually, yeah, that is your
Well,
job.
actually,
Oh,
that is part of your job, yeah. So,
oh well,
like,
well, shit.
am I the one driving the truck? Am I the one picking up your vehicle? Well,
Parla
no.
usted inglés?
Dude, that actually reminded me of a fucking other aspect. I gotta fucking share this one too, man.
Do it.
So a couple quick things here. Quick story: I was actually cursed at and verbally abused by a customer in Russian.
In Russian?
In
Well, how
Russian.
do you know they were swearing at you?
Uh,